are covering CO25, another objective, another formula. This time, we are decreasing an original amount by a percentage. In CO24, we increased. CO25, we decrease, okay, which means we're reducing, we're getting smaller, okay? So here are 3 examples that we're going to talk about. It says last week, we talked on the phone for 200 minutes. You want to decrease that by 30%. How many minutes do you talk on the phone this week? The original price of a video game is $80. This week it's on sale for 75% off. How much is the video game after the discount? And as goalie of your hockey team, you gave up 3.7 goals per game last season. This season, your goal is to decrease that by 24%. What is your goal for the number of goals, you give up per game? Okay, so very similar situations, right? We're starting with an original amount, and instead of increasing that amount, Carter, can you put that away and take our reminder, please? Instead of increasing that amount, we're decreasing it. So the formula that we're using is going to be very, very similar. Okay? We're actually going to skip to the good stuff here and just find that new total directly. Because as far as finding the amount of the decrease first, you can use fractions, you can use percentages, you can use the multiplication method, all those things that we've talked about before. But this is the most efficient way. Okay? And so the formula for this is going to start the same as it did with an increase. We start with the original. Okay? What's the value that is being changed? And we're also going to then have our 100%. But what are we doing this time? Yesterday's formula was plus the increase. What do you think it's going to be this time? Okay?
Subtract.
Minus the what?
The increase, or the decrease.
Minus the decrease. Yeah. Okay? That's not December, right?
It is DCR.
It is December, fair enough. Minus the decrease. Right? So for our first example, where it's 200 minutes, you want to decrease that by 30%. Our original is 200, where we're starting. Okay? Our formula is 100%. We're subtracting the amount we want to decrease. So it's going to be minus 30%. Okay? Which is going to give us a value that's less than 100%, right? 100% minus 30% is 70%. Why does that make sense? That we're going to be multiplying our 200 by a value less than 100%. Okay?
70 and 30 goes.
Okay? That's where the 70% comes from, right? 100 minus 30. But yesterday, we talked about the fact that we're multiplying by something greater than 100 makes sense because we're getting bigger, right? We have the whole plus some extra. Why does it make sense that what we're multiplying by today is going to be less than 100%, less than a whole? Why? Because we're decreasing. We don't want the whole thing. You don't want to talk for 200 minutes again. You want to talk for less than that, right? And so multiplying something by a value less than 1, this decimal is 0.70, is going to decrease that original amount. What is 200 times 0.7 or 0.70? 140. So your goal for this month is to talk on the phone for a mere, this week, actually, not a month, this week, is to talk on the phone for a mere 140 minutes. Okay? So the formulas for each of these are very, very similar. One, you're adding an increase. The other, you're subtracting the decrease. That's the only difference. Okay? When you increase, you'll be multiplying by 1 point something because you want to get bigger. When you're decreasing, you'll multiply by 0 point something, less than a whole because you want to get smaller. Right? Our next example. Okay? It's $80 for 75% off, right? Okay? So going with our formula, what's our original? What's our original? What are we starting at? Mattis? Oh, I thought your hand was up. No? Camille? 80. Okay, that's the original price of the game. Okay? and we're decreasing it by 75%. So we're going to start with 100%. We're going to take away 75% of it, right? 100% represents the full price, the original price. If there's no discount, you're paying 100% of $80, which is $80, right? But we can take 75% off, which means we're only paying what percentage of the original price? Okay, 25% of it. What a deal. So we're multiplying 80 by 0.25, which is the decimal version of 25%. And what do we get? Colin? $20. Okay. Questions on this here, Shane?
Yeah. So 80 and 25 are both larger than 20. How do you multiply them and get 20?
Because we're not multiplying 80 by 25. We're multiplying 80 by 0.25, which is less than 1. Yeah. Quentin?
So for this one, instead of like adding the number back to the original one, you subtract it.
I could not have said it better myself. Exactly. Yep. Because we're decreasing, we're subtracting rather than adding. That's it. Yep. The next one. What's our original? Your original goals per game against average? Yes. 3.7. And you want to decrease that by 24%. So we subtract 24% from 100%. We want it to go down. We want to decrease that amount. Which means we're multiplying 3.7 by 76%. Which, what does it look like going into a calculator as far as decimal line? Blake?
2.812.
And how'd you find that?
I did 3.7 times 0.76.
Good. 3.7 times 0.76, which is that decimal value of 76%. And Blake said he got 2.812, which will round nearest hundredth, 2.81. That's respectable, right? That's like NHL. 2.81 goals against. Yeah?
Yeah, that's probably the easiest.
Questions on this? Yes. Let's see.
1.7.
You got 1.7. Did you multiply 3.7 by 0.76?
Oh wait, I did 4.6. That was
Yes. That would make a difference. Other questions? Okay. For homework for tomorrow, I only want you to do. Hold on. There you go. I only want you to do our customer section. Dayton, Amanda, Abigail, /Abby, Blake, and Kathleen. Doesn't make a difference. Either one's fine. This was before I knew all your nicknames and what you preferred to be called, so I apologize for that.
Why am I not on there?
It was randomized. It was random.org.
Dang, why are you wasting $42?
Random.org.
So you don't want us to do the bottom two?
No, just this table here. Okay.
Dang, what you buying at $42?
We'll do the first one together just to get this started.
No, we don't need to go. We don't need to go. Easy.
Okay.
We don't.
Okay. Dayton, your original price was $42.15. Your discount is 15%. Maybe you can do this mentally. What are we multiplying $42.15 by to get to the answer? Maybe not the multiplication mentally, but what we're multiplying by. What are we multiplying 42.15 by to get to the answer? Tony? 0.85. Where that came from, kind of the bigger formula here, right? 100% minus 15%. Okay, start with 100%, subtract the discount, subtract the decrease, okay, which gives us 42.15 times 85%. Tony mentally converted 85% of 0.85, and that's where we get this calculation here. Because we're talking about money, what should you round this to? Not the nearest dollar, not the nearest tenth, hundredth, nearest penny. 2 decimal places out. Okay, 2 decimal places out. So just that table for tomorrow for homework. Okay, I need to see the work. All I need to see, what suffices as work, this suffices as work. At the very least, show me what you're putting into your calculator. If you come tomorrow and say, I multiplied 4215 times 0.85 mentally, I'm going to say, liar. Okay? If you do it without a calculator, if you do it longhand, show the work. Right? But if you tell me that you did it mentally, I'm not going to believe you. I'm sorry. I've got trust issues. Okay? This is what I need to see.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Without doing
Perfect.
all the steps.
Perfect.
It's a snap.
So we'll turn off that.
Ooh, come on, guys, you got ready to Abby? Well, shit, remember the third thing right here.
Okay.
the last one.
Any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, comments, congrats? Thanks, John. Or criticism, Griffin. I know. You already went today.
Criticisms are horrible.
So no, can't go twice in a period.
I criticize.
All right, that's IMF.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.